Here or watching us online, we are going to continue our work. Next briefing is the presentation of the handbook on citizen right. We have the Lesia Vasylenko, lawyer, head of NGO, Jurydychna sotnya, then Vitaly Golota, head of the Department of Military and Social Work, Yuriy Kogutiak, chairman of the charitable foundation, Tsentr Dopomohy, Center for Assistance. You have the floor. Good afternoon. Today we have gathered here in order to present you the result of our strenuous work, which took us about half a year. The lawyers of the NGO Jurydychna sotnya, the Legal 100, including experts from the Department of Social Psychological Work of the General Staff of Armed Forces of Ukraine. And this effort resulted in kind of handbook for servicemen who today are stationed in the ATO area, who defend Ukraine in the eastern parts of our state. This handbook, rather it's a handbook, 50 pages, which deals with every questions, most frequent questions, which the servicemen address the legal officers. We're talking about their supplies and how to go on vacation and the let's say the payments for their combat achievements, attainments, and the questions regarding responsibility. So this handbook is based upon the information when the hotline of the Legal 100, we heard a lot of popular questions, most frequent questions, which actually became made up the content or contents of this information handbook. This handbook has been, or booklet has been, this circulation is more than several thousand copies in the Renaissance Foundation, and we had another 10,000 copies already in circulation. In fact, then we were joined by the Committee of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine on the issues of the veterans of war, who in their turn published about 8,000 copies. So in fact, this enabled us to have to provide 20,000 of servicemen with information about their rights, responsibilities, duties, etc. The aim is to provide information to those who are fighting in the front line today, not for the demobilized servicemen, for the demobilized servicemen, together with the Minister of Social Policy, again, the volunteer lawyers drawn up a special handbook which has been elaborated on, because the Legal 100 now works on some annexes, supplements of this handbook, update on this book, because every week we come across new regulatory documents which expand the rights and duties of the ATO's veterans. Also would like to note at this point of time that while working on this handbook, we have the cooperation support on the public at large, and we received the support on from the Minister of Defense, which is a very positive experience we had, because the experts of the Ministry of Defense actually were eager to have such a handbook. They actively participated in our work, and they offered their corrections, without which the information couldn't be comprehensive, let's say, because all of us, we are legal officers, we are experts in our own area, but if you're talking about the military sphere, our experience is limited to 18 months now, so we have to rely upon our more experienced colleagues who really have the competence and necessary experience in order to introduce corrections, etc. On our hand, in our turn, we can actually help in publishing the materials and disseminate that information. Now I would like to give the floor who provided information support for this handbook, Vitaly Golota, and then Yuriy Kogutiak, who actually helped us to spread this information to allow us to reach the end user. My name is Vitaly Golota, Colonel Vitaly Golota, speaking about our today's event. Would like to say the following: the issue of social protection of servicemen and their families of veterans of war and participants in the combat actions. Of course, this is a very topical and very significant topic. In today's internet resources, in the mass media, we have a lot of corresponding materials, but unfortunately, the big part of those is just simple, let's say, reproduction on the pages of the newspapers or the internet web page, the articles of this or another law, presidential decrees, etc., etc. While when we actually came up with this idea and the Legal 100 approached us with their idea, the major purpose was not to let's say to reproduce those norms, but to show how those duties and rights can be exercised, to make them accessible using the infographics, schemes, and other visual aids, and not just bare statement of figures or words. I believe we managed to do that. Moreover, when we started to work on this handbook, the legal 100 already took into consideration our previous experience, and we had a collection which actually published something which we did not take care of before. And Lesia mentioned that we are civil persons. In this we see the positive, because we military guys, we believe that we know all those norms and we present them the way we needed. The Legal 100 published those materials based on the proceeding from the accessibility point of view, and those copies which they published, they immediately enjoyed the red demand, and we had very good responses and direction to those. And again, I have to say a few words that the NGO represented here by Lesia is one of the few which approached us and said, let's do something together. Let's make a document or a booklet which would be a kind of a joint effort and will be very useful to the end user. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Yuriy Kogutiak. I'm head of the Charity Foundation's Center of Assistance. Why we are doing that? Because our major projects, this is the Center of Assistance rates to be given to the wounded, and we work with the Central Military Hospital in our major project. We carried out together the first in Ukraine military department of palliative assistance or aid, which successfully operates today, and which based on the help given by the fundraisers, and we managed to do that approximately within 6 months. Why we started to deal with this project, why we actually assist in implement this project? First of all, because if you're talking about charity, it's very important component of that is confidence or trust, and over almost 2 years when we started to do something about that. We have a circle of people who do not need any documents or papers. It's suffices to call them and say we need some assistance, and there is no additional questions. You need our assistance, we have to assist you. So we do not have any problems with the legal hundreds. In this way or another, we provide our assistance. Why this specific project? Because this project, we like that very much because the formal aspect concerns the medical aid to the military guys, the servicemen, which is one of the major directions of the activities of our foundation. However, speaking in principle, we always deal with some kind of restricted or limited financial capabilities or possibilities. We have to choose some small scale project which need less money but which can give us a lot of results. And we understood that this material must have such a booklet must be given to every serviceman, not only in the front at the front line, but also in the rear. And that was really very complex and hard work to make it accessible with high quality. That's why, from point of view of criteria, that was the project which, using a relatively small amount of money, provided the maximum result. Speaking about the fundraising, this took place on October the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. There was some military holiday, and then when we approached our friends and those who helped us, we actually asked them that instead of publishing something in the internet, maybe you can come up with some kind of printed booklet. And quite a few people responded. And actually, we actually wanted to provide every soldier with such a booklet, but we cannot do that now. But we continue to raise the money in order to make it happen, and we have to thank the Legal 100 for that. Actually, we hope that the Minister of Defense in their turn will join us and they will help us in publishing, so that we can ensure that each serviceman fighter in the ATO to have such a booklet contain the information about their rights and duties. And now we are working on the second part of that, dealing with the social rights of the demobilized persons. That's why we hope for the further cooperation with the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Social Policy, and such public figures or entities at the Charity Foundation Center of Assistance, which join us in that and who do not surrender and they continue to provide their assistance. Thanks to everybody. Thank you, Lesia. Thank you, colleagues. We have some clarifications to Lesia.
When this second part will be published and the hand manual that you presented now, can we have it online, or where is it distributed? Yes, on the site of legal.org.ua. There you can download it, and there's a version for printing, and you can find all information on the marks on the site concerning legal and social support of servicemen. And we have black and white design in order that each person could download it and print it and then distribute it. There's also a version for reading, and you can find there the information you need. As to the first part of the question, on the second part of this handbook, we develop it now and we wait for the answer from the Ministry of Health, because a lot of benefits that are provided to the veterans are benefits for medical help. So in order to provide more detailed information and to cite the laws, we are waiting for the answers from the ministry now. And the second stage is drawing and creating infographics in order that the information was presented clearly and in the interesting form with the help of pictures. The designers work on this, and they create this content, and we hope that at the end of January, when everyone returns from holidays, there will be materials ready for printing, and we hope that we will get budgets for these projects. and there will be a lot of materials, some information for servicemen and for demobilized persons. This will be a book about 100 pages in volume with pictures, and we hope that it will get positive response. Do you have some other questions or comments? There's no questions. Thank you for coming. Until the next time, goodbye. I remind you that our next briefing is at 12.